Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into a total paradigm-shifting idea about midlife burnout. When we hear the word burnout, most of us picture a total collapse, right? Like literally unable to drag yourself out of bed. But for so many highly capable women, burnout doesn't actually look like losing your energy. It looks like losing your identity. It's that incredibly strange sensation where you're seamlessly running a household, absolutely crushing a presentation at work, holding the whole shebang together, but honestly, you feel like a ghost in your own life. Listen to this quote straight from our sources. "I am still doing everything, but I feel absent." Wow, that beautifully and painfully hits the nail on the head. It captures this silent struggle perfectly. You're getting the kids ready, you're managing complex projects, you're organizing the calendar, but there's no you actually present in those actions. So here's the crucial takeaway. Treating burnout like it's just a simple energy problem entirely misses the deeper pattern. If we just brush it off and say, oh, you're tired, you just need a nap, we are completely ignoring what that chronic exhaustion has actually trained your nervous system to do over time. It's really not just about low energy. It's about where your system has learned to route the energy you do have left. To make sense of this, we're going to map out the experience using the TAM framework: trigger, adaptation, and mastery. We'll rethink what burnout means, identify the real pattern, and then walk through the trigger, the adaptation, the cost, and finally mastery, so we can find a clear way forward. All right, section 1. Burnout is not always collapse. Just look at the stark contrast between the outside and the inside. On the exterior, you are literally the ultimate reliable asset. You're capable, you're anticipating everyone's needs, functioning flawlessly. But your interior reality, it's a completely different story. You feel flat, distant. Your personal preferences have quieted down so much that even making a simple choice, like picking what to watch on TV or what to eat for dinner, feels like you're trying to contact a total stranger. Moving on to section 2, the real pattern. I miss who I used to be. This specific sentiment perfectly captures how the cumulative weight of invisible labor, emotional heavy lifting, and perimenopause-related strain can fundamentally alter how you experience yourself. When your brain is acting as a permanent running checklist for everyone else's needs, well, that endless stream of competence naturally estranges you from your own body. Which brings us to section 3, trigger. Now, the trigger here isn't usually one dramatic event or one spectacularly bad day. Instead, it's the quiet, chronic weight of cumulative overload. It's the invisible labor, the fact that you somehow always know we're almost out of peanut butter before the jar is even empty, or you're playing the magical fairy making sure the toilet paper is always restocked. It's that relentless pressure to remain competent mixed with genuinely poor recovery. Your internal alarm bells are ringing because you are making hundreds of micro decisions every single day without a single moment to actually process them. Okay, section 4, adaptation. I really want to stress this. Becoming easier to run on a low battery is absolutely not a failure. When your system realizes there is simply too much load, it tightens around usefulness. You instinctually postpone your own needs because, let's be real, having needs feels like a luxury you absolutely cannot afford right now. This is a highly intelligent, survival-organized solution to protect your role stability, keep your life moving, and prevent an immediate collapse. Basically, you survive by becoming a machine. Now for section 5, cost. But relying on this survival mode comes with a heavy bill. And it's exactly why life starts feeling intensely managed rather than truly lived. You might notice this creeping numbness or a quiet underlying resentment. Spontaneity completely disappears because, well, everything has to be scheduled. You feel profoundly disconnected from your own body. It just becomes a vehicle to get chores done. Your self-expression drops. You stop asking what you want, and over time, you literally forget how to even answer the question. So instead of asking that highly critical, shame-filled question like, why can't I just get it together? We need to ask a fundamental question of curiosity. What did my system learn to protect, and what is it costing me now? Your system learned to protect your family, your job, your stability, and hey, it did a great job. But the cost was your presence. Let's look at section 6, mastery. Mastery is not about abandoning your responsibilities, running away to the woods, or suddenly becoming cold and detached. It's actually the more conscious version of your current intelligence. It's about keeping those amazing capabilities, but slightly changing the operating conditions to rebuild self-contact. Think of it like declaring the first 15 minutes after work as totally off limits to everyone. just so you aren't completely disappearing inside of your roles. Here are some incredibly low-drag, repeatable steps to slowly come back online without needing some completely unattainable 2-week vacation. Step 1. Detect that overload earlier in the day. Step 2. Make invisible labor visible. Actually tell your partner the 12 mental steps it took to plan dinner. Step 3. Fiercely protect a tiny pocket of recovery before you hit that point of numbness. And finally, rebuild self-contact through small, daily decisions made purely for your own joy, not for efficiency. I really want you to take this to heart. Stop paying for dependability with self-erasure. You are not failing at life. In fact, you're probably incredibly good at it. But you simply need to recognize that you might be paying far too high a price for your own competence. Dependability is a wonderful trait, for sure, but it should never cost you your selfhood. Now, if this is deeply resonating with you, the Wisdom-du-Jour workbook, which is aptly titled I Don't Recognize Myself Lately, is a fantastic resource to gently map out your personal sequence. It'll help you spot those triggers and find those first steps back to yourself, all without adding to your daily overwhelm. To wrap up this explainer, I want to ask you to look at your reality right now. Where can you place one earlier boundary today to reclaim a piece of yourself? Just one small, practical act of self-return you can make today before your energy is entirely spent. It doesn't have to be massive, you know? That one small no to the outside world might just be the very first yes that invites you back into your own life. Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me to explore this today, and I challenge you to take that step before the day is over.